I know I'm the odd man out when I say that editing is my favorite part of the production process. For whatever reason, everyone else seems to think it's the bane of their existence, which I wish wasn't true, by the way, because editing is where the puzzle pieces come together. Friend, you get to see the video come to life before anyone else. And I think that's pretty exciting. But I do understand there are certain elements, there are certain things about the editing process that are monotonous and time consuming and frankly, just boring. So today it's all about organizing our clips and creating templates. Now, before you skip the video, before you turn this off, I know that it's not an overly exciting topic, but friend, I want you to understand how critical this is. If we get this right on the front end, it is going to streamline your editing process and hopefully make it so that you don't spend as much time doing just that. Although I could always spend more time doing that, but that's just me. To say thank you for sticking it out through this very important but not so fun topic. If you stick with me to the end, I do want to give you a free gift, but I want to tell you what's going to happen next. I'm going to take the files that you're seeing right now, the video from my camera, the audio from my microphone, I'm going to pull them into my computer and show you how I set up my folders, my file system inside my computer, how I set up every single one of my projects. Then I'm going to take you into Premiere Pro, where I've already created a custom template. I'll show you just how to do that. So you can save things. You'll have bins already created inside Premiere Pro. All you got to do is drag the files from your computer into Premiere and you are off and running. It's going to streamline the setup in your editing workflow so that you can get through that process a heck of a lot quicker. Now, if you are using a different editor like DaVinci Resolve or Final Cut, you have to take this with a grain of salt. I do imagine there are ways to create templates and do similar things within those programs. I just don't have the experience or them on my computer here today to be able to walk you through that process. So maybe in a future video. Today, we're gonna be in Adobe Premiere Pro. So I'm not gonna waste any more time. We're gonna jump to the computer and I'm gonna show you exactly how it's done. Let's get started. Welcome to my desktop as we discuss this extremely exciting topic here today of organizing our files and creating templates. The first thing you're going to notice is a long form video master folder that I have set up here in my iMac. And then I've got it broken out by year. So if I go to 2025, you're going to see all the folders that I created in 2025. If I go to 2026, you're going to see all the folders for video projects that I've created, you guessed it, in 2026. So if you read some of these titles, while the titles may have changed or been altered slightly, all of these folders correspond to some video that was released on my YouTube channel in 2026. So today we are talking about staying organized in templates. That's what this folder here is down here. So I'm going to go ahead and open that up and show you what I do. So that's how I have it set up. First and foremost, I have a long form video master folder broken down by year. And then within each year, I have each of my video projects and they're numbered. If you notice that they were numbered 1 through scrolling numbers as I had new videos on. But I create 4 folders every time. I used to create 5. I actually used to create 6. I'll talk about that in a minute. But I have these 4 folders that I create every time: audio, exports, footage, and project. So let's talk about what's inside each of these. Audio is pretty obvious. If I open this up, you're going to see that I have the GarageBand audio or whatever audio is exported or used for this video that came out of my microphone, whatever program I used or device I used to capture that audio, I pull it right out of that device and it lives right in this folder. The same with the footage. If I click on this, you're going to see this is my raw footage that covers the intro and outro of this video. What you're watching right now happens to be the middle or the meat and potatoes of the video, showing you the process for how I set up my folders. But that is the raw, unedited video file that I'll end up putting in Premiere, and I'll have to color it up, cut off the ends, and do all that fun stuff. So I'll go back here. Exports, obviously, there's not going to be anything in here right now. This is where the final video project will live when I export it, when I kick it out of Premiere Pro. It will come right here, along with the sidecar SRT file, the file used for subtitles that I'll then upload to YouTube as well. And then I also put my thumbnail image here. Once I'm done creating that, I'll usually use a tool like Canva or something to create my thumbnail. When that's done, that'll live right in here as well. I used to create a thumbnail folder, but that just seemed unnecessary to have an empty folder until the very end, just to put a picture in there and then pull it out. So I just put my thumbnail in the exports folder and I know what that means. And then of course, the project folder is where I'm going to tell Premiere Pro where to save the project. So as I'm working through the edit, all of my saves will come back to this folder here. So everything is clean and in one place. To give you a little preview of what this looks like, let me just click on a previous video that I did. So this was Define Your Niche. You can find this on the YouTube channel. If I go to audio, you're going to see my GarageBand file I just recorded right from my Scarlett 2i2 interface here on my desk, and then kick that audio out. And here you see that's the audio that I used for the video. If I go to footage, you're going to see my raw video file here that came right out of my Canon R8 camera. I can back up. If I go to exports, you're going to see the edited final cut, the final version of this video exported from Premiere Pro. I have the SRT file that I then uploaded to YouTube. And then of course, here's my thumbnail as well. I can back up again. Project, all you're going to see here is Adobe Premiere Pro autosave, Adobe Premiere Audio. All of this is just files that Adobe is stockpiling in here as I save, as I make iterations, as I edit through the project. That is where everything is going to live right here. So now that we understand the very simple way that you can organize your files, I'm going to show you how you can pull that in to Premiere Pro. So I've already launched Premiere. I'll pull that up here. When you go to start a new project, all you got to do is start a new project. So we'll click that here and you can name it whatever you want. I'm just going to say, I'm going to call this for the sake of time, Stay Organized. And I'll know what that means. We're going to call this Stay Organized. Now I need to tell Premiere where I want that to live. So I'll click Browse. Takes my computer a minute. Click the drive that I want. Long form videos 2026. Scroll down to the bottom. Stay Organized. Project. That's where I want this project to live. I'm going to click that and click Select. So now I have my title. Premiere knows where to save everything. And I can click Create. I'm going to pause right here. If I click Create, it's going to open up a blank workspace in Premiere Pro, which is totally fine, by the way. But I noticed that I was creating additional bins after the fact for every single project, which is just a huge time waste. So you can actually create your own template. And if I click this drop down, it's got a couple that are built in, but I created this one called GP Jumpstart or Guided Productions Jumpstart. I just named it something I thought was cool. So if I click that, I'm going to click Create. It's going to launch this workspace. And you'll notice that it already has these empty bins created. There's nothing in these, but these bins I create every single time. I'll tell you why. I create a sequences bin to keep all of my sequences. Anytime, if an edit takes multiple days, every time I start the next day, I will add a -1 or -1.1, depending on the version I'm on. And I do this so that if I make edits or I don't like the direction that I'm heading and I need to start over, I don't have to start over from the beginning. I can just go back to the previous iteration. So I always keep my sequences in a folder in that manner. Now, Elements arguably could be made into its own folder in the computer itself. This is that 5th folder or 6th folder that I was talking about before, where I used to create things like graphical elements or logos or anything like that. And if I'm working on a client video, I will still do that. The reason I'm adding it here in Premiere is because I will add any sort of adjustment layers, color mats, templates of any kind. I will just throw in one single elements folder so that I can keep my timeline and keep my project panel here nice and clean and tidy. So now that we have these bins already set up, we've used our template. So we're on our clean workspace, but we have our template in place. Here's the fun part, friend. You just got to go to that project folder on your computer, the one that we set up before. Click Audio, hold Command, click Footage, drag them both right into Premiere Pro. And you'll see just like that. Now I have my footage already in Premiere. I have my audio already in Premiere. And so when I go to pull this footage onto my timeline and it sets up my sequence, I have an old computer, so it takes a minute. Sorry for that. You're going to see that it automatically created this sequence. I will call this Stay Organized -1.0. Enter. Pull it into my sequence folder. There, cleans it up. Nice. Now I don't need my footage anymore. My audio, I know that it's just one track, so I can pull that right on here and just start editing right away. Synchronize that audio. And as soon as that's done, I can collapse my audio folder. I will usually line up my audio with my video, and I'm well on my way to editing this thing. You'll see this in time. But friend, that's all there is to it.
getting that right on the front end by organizing your files in your folder in such a manner that you can drag them from your desktop right into Premiere Pro and they show up in your project panel exactly as you have it set up. And then having a template built within Premiere that utilizes some of the elements or some of the features that you know you're going to use in every project. Save yourself the extra time by building out a template. Yours may not start on the color workspace. Maybe you want yours to start in editing or audio, captions and graphics. I know that color correction is one of the first things that I will do. That in audio cleanup is what I'll do for my videos. So I have it set. My template brings me right to the color workspace and I'm off and running.
Well, we already established that that's not an overly exciting topic to talk about. But friend, hopefully you're starting to see the value in just how important it is that if we set ourselves up correctly on the front end, it will streamline the workflow and make things so much smoother on the back end. Now, I did promise a free gift for making it all the way to the end of this video, and that is gonna be my 6 steps to creating better video guide. You can go to guidedproductions.com/bettervideoguide or just click the link in the description below and download my free PDF checklist. This is an expansive guide, friend. It's 18 pages. I spent a lot of time crafting this thing, but it takes you all the way from idea to exporting a fully crafted high quality video. And I will walk you through things like storytelling and building your message, the gear required to shoot high quality video, what to do on shoot day, how to set everything up, and of course, editing best practices as well. It's all in there, but it is my free gift to you. Just go to guidedproductions.com/bettervideoguide. Get your free copy there today. Friend, experiment with Premiere Pro or whatever editor that you're using. Create different templates, figure out all the shortcuts. There's so many ways to streamline your workflow and make the editing process more seamless. So I would encourage you to just understand and experiment with your editor and get comfortable using those features. With that, I'm out of here. I hope you have an amazing day. And friend, I will see you on another video real soon.